What is up, everybody? I am the Ross and Angel. I'm back here with another Borderlands 2 Op8 Mechromancer build. This build I like to call the Fist of Anarchy. Before I begin, a few things I want to talk about. One, thank you again, Grifter, for your help, your donation again. I appreciate the class mods; those will really help. Two, thank you for everybody. Thank you everybody for showing such massive support for that fire build. I really appreciate it. It really makes me feel good that everybody wants to see more. And lastly, though this is a melee build, it's a melee build for Deathtrap. There is stuff to support Gauge, but you're not gonna want that. It's the melee stuff is for Deathtrap. We get to enjoy some elemental stuff, and so we're gonna be rocking the fire shotguns once again today. So, all right, so. Yeah, that's it. That's all I have to say before I start. So why don't we hop into it? In our best friends forever tree, we once again have close enough. You know, the bullets bound towards the enemies. We're going to be using the Heartbreaker today, and the Heartbreaker is a much weapon, meaning it has healing qualities. Hi, my friend. I will talk to you later. So we're going to want all those bullets to go towards the enemies. You know, we're going to want, the health to stay out. Whew. But it's not just for the shotguns, it's for everything. Cooking up trouble, it's as long as your guns are reloaded, you're healing. So, alright, Upshot Robot, basically when you or Deathtrap kills something, Deathtrap gets to stay in longer, and I didn't mention this last time, but it also gives him a melee boost for each stack. Potent as a pony increases your and Deathtrap's max health. Explosive Clap, again, no matter what level you are, this is a powerful move, and this is a melee build, so it's really going to destroy some stuff. It really does work. Made of sterner stuff, it increases Deathtrap's health and it increases damage reduction. 20% cooler, it increases the cooldown rate of Deathtrap. You're gonna want that. Sharing is caring. Once again, you guys share shields. I'm going to be using two shields today. I'm going to be showing you two different clips. The first is going to be of the Hide of Terramorphous. The second is going to be the Love Thumper, but warning, you don't want to be anywhere around Deathtrap when you're doing that. You'll see why. You will definitely see why later. After I show you the Hide of Terramorphous. Just be ready. Okay? Alright, more pet because we're going to be using elemental shotguns, so, it's going to be good to increase those status effects. I originally had Myelin, to decrease shock damage, but you and Deathtrap are going to be back-to-back, so, you're not going to have to worry about that as much. And again, you're going to want the damage output. So, the Stare, again, it's a really good laser. Something I want to say before I go on, you do not want to have the Stare perk and buck up, because what happened is a glitch happened where it actually restored the shields of my enemies and just blasted me with the laser, so I had to take that off and redo the build. So yeah, don't add those two. It's a recipe for disaster. Just saying. Just saying. Strength 5 Grills increases your and Deathtrap's melee damage, but again, it's going to be Deathtrap who's actually doing the actual attacking with melee, so don't worry about you doing the melee. Smaller, lighter, faster increases reload speed, but decreases magazine size. God dang it, I want to use Infinity with this character. Jerk. So yeah, that sucks. Anarchy, we all know what that is, so there's no point in explaining that. But my sister went into this room at the time, so I just kind of set it on a perk and talked to her for a second. So yeah, that's going to be there for a second. Blood-soaked shields. Again, since we're using roid shields, we're going to want those. We're not going to want them down for very long, so kill an enemy and that'll be better. Robot Rampage, the only real good move, and this is the spinny move. And yeah, when you're using Love Thumper, you're going to want to look out. Annoyed Android increases the movement speed. At this point, he's basically the Flash of all robots. Discord, you accidentally reload, this slows it down and lets you fix it before you run to 0. So yeah, that helps. Typecast Ironclast, you gain 1 stack. There's a pretty big chance that you will be able to gain another one on top of that. So, 60% chance at this point, so that's awesome. And Rational Anarchist, instead of getting 1, you gain 25 when you're at 0. Now the loadout. The Fibber is the most beautiful gun to deal with the Mechromancer. It's wonderful, especially having Anarchy. The Pew is at Norfleet. Again, we're rocking some fire, so we're going to want the strongest fire rocket launcher we can possibly find. This really does work. The Evisceration Grog Nozzle, used for slagging and healing yourself, so we're going to want that in. Yeah. Yeah, it's Moxie, so it heals. Speaking of Moxie, the Practicable Heartbreaker, this is what we're going to be using today. It's fire, does crit damage. It's Moxie, it's a shotgun, it's beautiful. So yeah. The Hide of Terramorphous. Again, as I said, we're going to be rocking this first, and then the Love Thumper. So be prepared. Be prepared for that. This I can survive with, not so much the other one. In fact, yeah, you'll see. Legendary Roboteer. This helps Deathtrap. All those perks down there are for Deathtrap, but there is the stuff up top, like cooldown rate, the only thing that will really matter, and melee damage. Again, we're not using melee. I tested melee stuff, like with the Rapier, with that, and it doesn't help at all. One of the Ancients, we're doing fire weapons, so we're going to want to increase fire damage. Magic Missile to do some slag. Practicable Interfacer. I am actually going to add that in, because, well, the Heartbreaker might not cut it, so. I mean, it's a great gun, but it's no interfacer. So, yeah. And some slag and shock stuff, for things with shields. For robot enemies, everything has to have double penetrating Engaged Herald. Flacker for in case you get Hive into Anarchy, because that's kind of fun to use. For slagging everything before you go into a room, I'm going to sell that. Again, try that with the melee setup stuff. Doesn't help. It doesn't help one bit. In fact, there's a lot of psychos and stuff in here, so it's going to be even harder to use. So don't try it. Word of warning. Unless you like killing yourself, because in that case, go right on ahead. The Blockhead, beautiful gun, but just not for this build. The Rustler Scattergun, again, for getting stacks of Anarchy before I run into the room. Somebody actually asked me why I had this instead of a Twister. First of all, it's level 72, and I only use it for just gaining stacks of Anarchy. It only has 1 shot before reloading, so yeah. And the Twister, it has a torque barrel, so it wastes 4 shots. So you're using 4 times the shots for a quarter of the stacks of Anarchy. Unless you get really lucky with, yeah. And the Fibbers, we already talked about those. Again, melee stuff, not very good with Gauge. It doesn't help. I'm sorry. It just doesn't. Shock and corrosive stuff for things that are not fleshy. Explosive stuff. Yeah, some class mods. I actually might do a part 2 to my fire build, because I didn't know that had Evil Enchantress and pre-shrunk Cyberpunk, which increases Anarchy, so I might test that. We will see. You can just try it yourself, because it has the same stuff and burn damage stuff. I will add it, and if it's worthy of another video, I will make another video. So, yeah. I'm not promising anything, though, so. Alright, and we have some legendary class mods, like Legendary Anarchist, Legendary Catalyst, and some other stuff I'm going to sell. Some more grenades and stuff, blah, blah, blah. And the Love Thumpers, which we will be using later. Alright, so let's get into it. Yes, Angelfish, we will get into it. Here we go. Go!
Beginning of something awesome. I'm feeling it.
Alright, now it's time to test the Love Thumper. Yes, the Love Thumper. Again, I'm gonna say it again, just stay away from Deathtrap. At the beginning, it may not look like much, but, well, I'm warning you ahead of time. Just stay away. Spinning move, stay away. It's so bad. Come on, go fight him. We gotta stay away from that. Good for when you're down or something like that.
I am amazing!
I warned you guys. I warned you. It will literally get you killed. Alright, everybody, I hope you enjoyed another build. I know this one wasn't as good as Melisandrian Ruler, or whatever, or however you pronounce it. Again, thank you for the support. I actually plan on making more builds right after this video. Designing and taking care of that. So, thank you everybody for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.